Gopinath from Crack with Gopinath YouTube channel. Today we are going to see differential calculus. Differential calculus is one of the important chapter in both physics and mathematics. Basically, all the people think that differential calculus is too difficult, and some people may skip this chapter also. But it is not too hard. It's not too hard. When you understand differential calculus from the basics, then the differential calculus will be easier for us. Please do that. Please understand from the basics. Then the differential calculus will be easier. Differential calculus. On starting differential calculus, please remember every physical quantity is a function. What? Every physical quantity is a function. Remember that. To make differential calculus simple, let us take an example. Let us take you and your friend are running in a running race. You and your friend are running in a running race. This is you. I represent it as Y. And your friend also running in a running race. I represent your friend as F. You as Y and your friend as F. I represent it like that. Now, as I told you are running in a running race. You are moving with the uniform velocity. Uniform velocity. You are moving with a uniform velocity. In a running race, you are moving with a uniform velocity. That means moving with a constant velocity. But your friend is increasing his velocity every second. Is increasing his velocity every second. So, increase in velocity. Increase in velocity. Right here. Your friend, the velocity of your friend increases. That means it increases every second. But the velocity of you in the running race is uniform. That means you are running in a constant velocity. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to plot the graph for you and your friend. That means we are going to plot a displacement time graph for you and your friend. Let us plot. Okay, I think it is correct. Now, we know that this is x-axis. This is x-axis. And this is y-axis. And this is origin. This is origin. Now, as I told, we are going to take displacement time graph. Please understand, we are going to take displacement time graph. Why I am taking displacement time graph? Because I told only velocity of that you and your friend. No, I did not told. I only told velocity of a person. So in displacement time graph only you will infer the velocity. In displacement time graph you can infer the velocity. So I am going to draw displacement time graph. So displacement, displace, DISP. I represent it as. That means displacement means yes. Understand that? We know that displacement means yes. I am going to draw the displacement time graph, and this is time. Now, as I told, this graph is for you. This graph is for you. This graph I am drawing for you. You are moving with a uniform velocity. In displacement time graph, how will be the slope will be? That means how will be the gradient will be? The gradient will be like this. That means it will be inclined to the x-axis. That means that this gradient, this line we are going to draw, no? This line can be called as gradient also. Please remember that. This gradient will be inclined to x-axis because this uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means in displacement time graph, the gradient will be like this only. Understand? In next case, your friend is moving with he is increasing velocity. He is increasing his velocity. So how will be the graph? the graph will be, because he is increasing na, so the graph will be 1 minute. 1 minute. He is increasing his velocity. I think I need to extend it. Sorry for that. Sorry, I will extend now. I extended. Now here it is x-axis, and here it is y-axis, and here it is origin as been marked. As I told, it is displacement time graph. Displacement, that means we represent as S. Displacement time graph. The graph, that means the gradient, how the gradient will be? It will be there. Your friend is moving your friend is increasing his velocity, no? So in displacement time graph, how we will draw the gradient is, sorry, 1 minute. We'll draw again. How will the gradient is? This is how the gradient looks. This is how the gradient looks. In displacement time graph, increasing velocity means this is how the graph will be looking. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told one thing na, that is every physical quantity is a function. Every physical quantity is a function. Please remember that. As I told, that means y is equal to 1 minute. F of x. That only I told. What I told is every physical quantity is a function. That means y is equal to f of x. Now, what I am going to say is a very important thing. That is, if y is equal to f of x means this y is dependent on x only, no? Because if x changes only, y will also change. If x changes only, y will also change. But this x does not depend on anything. It does not depend on y itself, because if x changes means y change. But if y changes means does x change? Not like that. Yeah, it's not like that. So this x is dependent on, this y is dependent on x. So what I am going to say is, we are going to say this x-axis as independent variable. Now I will rub this. That means it's you and your friend. You are running in a running race. You are moving with a uniform velocity. Your friend is increasing his velocity. I draw that. I have drawn the graph for it. I will rub this. Okay. I will rub this. Please remember this. I just drawn a graph. I rubbed it. Now, as I told, y is equal to f of x. This y is dependent on x. So we are going to say that this y is dependent variable. 1 minute. Dependent variable. But the x is independent variable. Independent variable. Why I am saying like that? Why I am saying is, as I told, y is dependent on x, no? So we can call that this y-axis as dependent variable. But this x does not depend on anything. So it is independent variable. Please understand, x-axis is an independent variable and y-axis is an dependent variable. On both cases, the x-axis is independent and y is dependent. Okay, please understand, y is equal to f of x. By this you can understand as y is dependent variable and x is dependent. Okay. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to find the slope of this graph. I am going to find the slope of u. That means, as I told, now you are running in a running race. So for you, I am going to first plot the graph. I am going to find the slope, not plot. I am going to find the slope. I am going to find the slope for you. Find the slope means I am going to find a difference in velocity. Yeah. Let us take this point as a. 1 minute. Draw. I will write bigger. A and this point as B. Now we will find slope as easier. What you will do is, you will do, see, now what you will do is, you will draw a vertical and horizontal component. No, let us take this point as C. Let us take this point as C. Now we are going to find the slope. That means between A and B. Between A and B we are going to find the slope. In AB we are going to find the slope. Find the slope means we are going to find a difference in velocity. That means the change in its velocity. How we are do this? We will find the vertical. That means the vertical and horizontal component. As I told, now what as I told, this is the vertical component, you know, and this is the horizontal component. As all know how to find the slope now, because we are learned in the lower standards itself. We know how to find the slope. Use that. How we will find the slope for the AB? As simple. What you do is, you will do AB. That means the slope AB is equal to BC by AC. BC by AC. 1 minute. BC by AC. Why I am doing is because slope means vertical component divided by the horizontal component. Vertical component is BC and the horizontal component is AC. So I done like that. Now I am going to say this angle as theta. That means between AB and AC the angle is theta. The angle is theta. Then we can say that this AB is equal to tan theta, no? Equal to tan theta. Why I am saying like that? Why I am saying is, tan theta means opposite divided by adjacent. What is the opposite of theta? It is BC. And what is adjacent of theta? It is AC. So this AB is equal to BC by AC. It is matching na, because it is matching. So we can say it as this AB is equal to tan theta. I will say why we are telling tan theta, and I will say why it is important. I will say why it is important. Now, as usual, you know, tan theta is opposite by adjacent. So, BC by AC is matching the tan theta. So, we are telling that AB, that means the slope is equal to tan theta. For you, the graph, in the first graph, you can able to easily find the slope. But, here how we are going to find? This graph is for your friend. As I already told, this graph is for your friend only, no? This is for you and this is for your friend. Here I find the slope. Slope is AB is equal to BC by AC or tan theta. Now here how I am going to find? Let us take this point as A. Let us take this point as A. Let us take this point as B. 1 minute. B. Here also you can say that the vertical and horizontal component. But here you can't easily find the slope. Here you definitely can't able to easily find the slope here. Why you can't easily find? Because you can see that this curve is like that, no? Like this only, no? This is the point A. And this is the point B. Now we can draw the slope easier. That means the slope will be like this only, na? Yeah. I will rub this. This is dependent and independent. Please remember, y-axis is dependent, x-axis is independent. I will rub this. Now, as I told, here you can't easily find the slope. Here it is not easy to find the slope because this gradient. That means the curve is like this. What I did is I just drawn this gradient. This curve I did here. That means it looks like this only, A and B. How we will find the slope? The slope will be this only. As I draw, no. This will be the slope. This will be the slope. But it cannot be an accurate value. It cannot be accurate value for that slope. What I did is I just draw this gradient, ma. I just draw this gradient in this side. I just draw this gradient to this side. That means the slope for this also we find the straight line, no. Like the straight line, here also we can find the slope as this. That means this, I draw a straight line, no, this slope. But if this curve and the straight line are different, na. Yeah, it is different. So here what I am going to say is, if please don't consider this. I will say how we should find out. Now let me say that we need to find the exact value of velocity at the point A. The exact value of velocity at the point A. How I will do that? That means, as I told you, we need to find the exact value of velocity at the point A. And that exact value is called as a differential calculus. Finding that exact value is called as a differential calculus, and that exact value is called as an instant value. Finding the instant value is a differential calculus. So what I can say is, finding an instant value is only differential calculus. Please understand, differential calculus means finding the instant value. As I told, you need to find the exact value of velocity at the point A. How we are going to find? I will tell how we are going to find. Now let us mark that the coordinate. What I will do, I will write the time here. Because for this I need to do. Now let us take up to A. The x-axis up to A, we take it as x. Up to A, x. Now here, 1 minute. And this, now I am going to take this length, that means this A point to the, let us take this point as C. This point as C. Let us take the A to C is del x. A to C is delta x. The length of A to C is delta x. And here also, the y coordinates of that A and point B we will mark. How we will mark this? Up to A. 1 minute. Up to A it will be y. Let us take it as y. Up to A it is y. I will write this 1 minute. Up to A it is y. But from the A, that means this I draw now. From the A to B, that's a change. That change we call it as del y. That change we can tell it as del y. What I did is, I need to find the exact value of velocity at the point A. So I am doing these steps. Please understand, we can take it as from the origin to this A. That means the origin to this A as x, this x, and from the A to C the distance is del x. That's a small change happened. Here, up to A, the y coordinate will be up to A. From the origin to the A it will be y, and from the A to the B it will be del y. It will be del y. Please understand that y and del y and x and del x. Understand that. Now, please be conscious now. Now only that's a turning point. Now only we are going to see the turning point. What I am going to say is, already told that y is equal to f of x. Now that's a change in x na. The steps that I am saying now is to find the velocity at the particular point A. These are that steps only I am saying now. Please understand that. As I told, y is equal to f of x. But you can see that there's some change happened. There's some change increased. That means del x. It increased to del x. So what we can say is, 1 minute. F of x plus del x. F of x plus del x is equal to, please understand, is equal to, what I am doing is, there is some change in del x. If there is some change in the x means, there will also be some change in y, no? Because y is dependent on x, so it will be y plus del y, because already it is y. Now we are adding del y, because I told no, because up to b. So y plus del y. 1 minute. What I am going to do? 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Y plus del y is equal to, y plus del y is equal to f of x plus del x. Now what I am going to do is, as I told, this is small changes del x and y to del y, because if there is change in y means there will also be some change in y, so I change like that. But means y plus del y is equal to f of x plus del x. To frame this, we use this formula. That not formula, we use this. Y is equal to f of x. That means we got it as y plus del y, because there is some change in the delta y. So if y plus del y is equal to f of x plus del x, that means delta x. Now what I am going to do is, I I'm going to divide both sides with the delta x. Both sides with the delta x. Delta x. Here also with the delta x. Delta x I divided. Now what I am going to do is, now we can say that y plus del y by del x. Y plus del y by del x. In here, we can also say that y plus del y by del x as a simple thing, y by del x plus delta y by delta x is equal to, one minute, f of x plus del x divided by del x. As I told, on whole we are dividing with the delta x. Delta x. As I did this, that means y by del x, I will write it as straight, y by del x plus delta y by delta x. We can change it as like that also, because y plus del y by delta x may be written as y by del x plus delta y by delta x. As usual, all know that. How to do that. Now, f of x plus delta x divided by delta x. Now, what I am going to do is, I am going to change. I am going to take this y to the right hand side. That means y by del x to the right hand side. When the y by del x to the right hand side, but it will become minus y by del x. Minus y by del x. I will rub this because this is not important. In here it is, in this case we find the slope more easily, but for this only we are doing. I will rub this. I rubbed it. Now as I told, I am going to take this y by del x to the right hand side. When I take means it becomes as minus y by del x. So what I can do is, earlier I told that y is equal to f of x, no? If y is equal to f of x means we can write that minus y by del x as minus f of x by del x, because already y is f of x. So when we take y to the right hand side, it becomes minus f of x by del x. Now it becomes as minus, one minute, minus f of x. Now understand this. What I did is, it's just a simple thing. I take the y by del x to the right hand side. Then when I take means I can write it as f of x by delta x also, because y is equal to f of x. So y by del x go to the left side means become minus. So y can be written as f of x. You have a doubt why I did not write the del x, because when we take to the right hand side also, it becomes such minus f of x by del x, no? So the new denominator will be same, so we can write it as this, minus f of x by delta x. Now we can rub this, because we taken to the right hand side, so we can rub this. Now only the turning point is here. The real turning point in differential calculus is now only. Now what I am going to say is, we are not going to consider this f of x plus del x minus f of x divided by del x. We are not going to consider this. But we are going to consider this del y by del x, delta y by delta x. That this delta y by delta x, this delta, I will rub this, and this delta y by delta x called as rate of change of y with respect to, that means I write it as w or t, with respect to x. That too only the dy by d, delta y by delta x. Delta y by delta x is the rate of change of y with respect to x. Yes. And this delta y by delta x. Using that we can able to find the point. That means the exact value at the point A. Now as I told, we are not going to consider this f of x plus delta x. Please remember that delta y by delta x is the rate of change of y with respect to x. Now I will rub this. Now earlier I told no, that's a turning point. The turning point is this delta y by delta x is not the current. What is this delta y by delta x? That is this curve na. This curve as I told, this A and point B. If I think I need to draw some more, 1 minute. As it looks like this only, A and B. This is how it looks. Now we know that this is the delta x. This is the delta x. Sorry, this is the delta x. Now the turning point that I said is, now we are going to make this delta x smaller and smaller and smaller. We are going to take this delta x smaller. We are going to take this delta x smaller. Why is, when I take this delta x smaller means this line AB will become like this and it will become like this. That means this line AB na, it comes closer to the point A. Because we point the accurate value at the point, that means the exact value at the point A only na. So if you make the delta x tends to 0, but the delta x tends to 0 means this line AB will come closer to A. This line AB comes closer to A. Like this it will come, this come and becomes a tangent at A at one point. That is very important. Like this it will become. That is, when we make this delta x smaller, when we make this delta x smaller, with this becomes a tangent at A. If it becomes a tangent at A means we can able to find the exact value at A na. We can find that. So when we make this delta x smaller, we can find that exact value at the point A, because it will decrease, come closer and closer to A and become a tangent at A. If it becomes mixed, we can able to find the exact value at the point A. So the turning point, as I told is, it is this delta x should be 0. As I told it smaller and smaller, no? Then why am I taking 0? Many people have this doubt. Smaller means this is the starting point A to B. Because it is come closer, more smaller and smaller and smaller means it's somewhat nearer to 0 na? It's somewhat nearer to 0. So only we are saying that this delta x should be 0. This delta x should be tending to 0. When this tends to 0, we find the accurate value at the point A, that is the exact value at the point A. Please understand, when the delta x tends to 0, we can find the exact value at the point A. This is the point A, we can find it. This point. Now I will rub this. Now only I am going to say, as if this delta x tends to 0. As earlier, we are going to consider this delta y by delta x. That is, what we are going to do is, limit of delta x tends to 0 of delta y divided by delta x is equal to dy by dx. What I did is, this delta x should be tends to 0, then only we can find the accurate value of the point A. That means the exact value of the point A. So only limit of delta x tends to 0 of delta y by delta x. Why delta y by delta x? Because delta y by delta x is a rate of change, So limit of delta x tends to 0 of delta y by delta x is equal to dy by dx. And this dy by dx is very important. And this dy by dx only called as a derivative. It only called as a derivative. That is, I told it called as a derivative. And this dy by dx gives us the exact value at the point A. The instant value, the instantaneous value at the point A. So this dy by dx is called as a derivative. And this dy by dx will be giving the exact value at point A. If you understand this, then differential calculus is like a test now. As I already told, it's like a test. It's more easier when you understand from the basic. As I told many things. If you understand step by step means it will be more easier and differential calculus will be simple for us. Not only for us, for all. Okay. Now when you understand the basics, so when the limit of delta x tends to 0, delta by delta x is equal to dy by dx. And this dy by dx is the derivative. Now what we can say is in behalf of writing delta y by delta x, we can write it as dy by dx because dy by dx is not accurate value, na. The delta y by delta x is not the accurate value, but this dy by dx is the accurate value. So only I am telling like that. So dy by dx will give the exact value at the point A. Now we can see some rules, that means some formulas. The formulas are, we are having many formulas. The formulas like d by dx of any constant. Differentiating any constant. When you differentiate any constant, you will get 0. Anda. That means anda. You will get a 0, no? Anda. So d by dx of constant is equal to 0. And d by dx of x to the power of n. X to the power of n is equal to this very important thing. Please remember. Nx to the power of n minus 1. Nx to the power of n minus 1. That is d by dx of constants is equal to anda. That is 0. And d by dx of x to the power of n is equal to nx to the power of n minus 1. We are having many differentiation formula, but you can ask why I wrote these two things. The reason is, in physics you don't need all the things, because in mathematics only you need all the formulas, but in physics you don't need, because if in physics you know these things, that means the d by dx of constant is equal to 0 and d by dx of x to the power of n is equal to nx to the power of n minus 1. If you remember these things, then physics will become easier, because in all the chapters of the physics it uses the differential calculus. You can see one of the differential calculus. Definitely I will say one of the differential calculus derivation will be there in every chapter. Surely I will say in every chapter. So please understand this differential calculus. So as I told, we can ask the dy by dx of the trigonometric function also we are having, but it is for the max only. That means dy by dx of sin x is equal to cos x and d by dx of cos x is equal to minus sin x. We are having it, but it is not essential in the physics. Okay. Now please understand these two things. That means constant is equal to 0 and x to the power of n is equal to nx to the power of n minus 1. I understand this dy by dx is called as a derivative. And if you understand these things itself, the differential calculus is over. That's all I can say. The differential calculus become easier. If you have any doubts, in these things, please comment me. A good chapter, I think. Now the differential calculus will become easier. If become easier means, please send a done symbol in the comment. Okay? A good chapter. Okay. Thank you. Make education simple.